Shalom. It's your brother Malcolm from Chicago GMS. It's coming at you with another sit-down, another edifying sit-down. Hopefully it's edifying to the family, to the elect, because that's who this truth is for. It's for the elect of Israel only. The rest of Israel does not matter at this point. So I'd like to start by first and foremost saying all praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS who rule well. The head of the government that's here on earth today. All right, the government of Israel, which is the only government that matters. And salutations to the Akim that are doing his work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, worldwide. Salutation to you, brothers. The rest of that government that is here on earth as in heaven. All right. Doing the work to do their part in the ushering in of the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But this is a quick lesson about the curses. All right. And I'm going to start with, I wrote down some scriptures, so I'm just going to follow the scriptures that I wrote down. Try not to divvy away from the plan. But this is Revelation 19 and 10. All right. And it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am a fellow servant. So what that means is that this was a messenger, an angel. And the scripture says that we will actually judge the angels, and the Israelites are angels themselves. All right? The elect men. So John is an angel himself. He's just stuck in the chains of darkness, which means that he's in that fleshly body. That's why he was not to bow down to the angel, because if it was Yahushua, he wouldn't have told him not to do that. All right. So it says, I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren. See, a fellow servant that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So we should be occupied in the prophecies, because the prophecies are coming true right before your face, man. America has never been more separated and divided. As a matter of fact, I was just at a Dunkin' Donuts and saw on the television screen where it flashed across the screen, America versus the whole world under the presidency of Donald Trump. Well, it's not just going to be America, it's going to be America and the Israelis against the whole world. And I've been saying that for years, and now CNN was actually agreeing with me, because that's what's about to happen. So finally, they're starting to report on these sort of things, man. So this is good news for us. This is good news for Yasharala, man. We're getting closer and closer to being out of here and not have to worry about the trivial things on this side, and worry about because we won't have to worry about the things to come. The kingdom is ours. Okay, it's already ours. Okay, next scripture is going to be Deuteronomy 30 and 1. Okay, it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things shall come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee. See, we're going to get the blessings and the curse. We got a short period of the blessings when Solomon was in rulership, and that's that. And for those years that Solomon ruled, we ruled the whole known world, man. And all nations bowed down to us. All right, all nations were paying tribute unto us, bringing us gold, silver, sheep, whatever. We totally had dominion over the earth under the authority of our king. Okay, it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee. And thou shalt call them to mind among all nations whither the Lord have driven thee. So that means that the Israelites were driven. Let me get a scripture to prove that. Let me go to Baruch. All right. Because it says in those nations, or you know what, I even go to Tobit. Tobit's a better example. This is Tobit, the 13th chapter, and the 3rd verse. And it reads, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. So the Israelites are scattered among all nations, all people. no matter where they are. So whether it be in Africa, whether it be in Europe, South America, whether it be in Asia, or in the islands, man, the Israelites are scattered among all people. That's that multitude that John couldn't identify. All right, when he says, when the angel asked him, you know, who are these? And he says, surely thou knowest, Lord. All right, that's in Revelations, the 7th chapter. All right, so we're scattered among all people. All right, and the Israelis, according to them, they've always known who they were. All right, that doesn't make you fit the prophecies. They say you'd have to call to mind, you'd have to remember. Right, we're talking about the controversy of Zion. Right, so that one thing in itself takes them out of the equation. They can possibly be the people of the Lord, because the people of the Lord, according to Jeremiah 17:4, he told Jeremiah even himself would discontinue from his heritage. We got cut off from our power, from knowing who we are, man. And that's why we're in the state that we're in. All right, why our people are so destroyed, man, and don't have the discipline, and don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Why are men against our men, our women are against us? You know, our people. We're just a divided, destroyed, and conquered people, man. All right. Well, let me go to Isaiah now. This is the book of Isaiah, 34th chapter. In the 8th verse. And it reads, For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion. All right, so the Lord is you know, Yahweh's coming back with vengeance, man. He's going to send Yahweh Shai. He's coming back for vengeance. Vengeance is, you know, a violent act. Why? For all the things that have been done to us while we've been scattered among these nations, man, and while we served captivity openly in these nations, and then they covered up and hid who we were. All right, so powers that be, the earth is still in the hands of the wicked, which is the so-called white man, who is Esau, Edom. Right? They still rule this earth, right? And they're fastly losing control over it, and it's a beautiful thing to see. This is why they hate us so. All right? And it says in the year of his recompenses. That means payback. You know, like James Brown's song, The Big Payback. You know, the Lord is coming back for payback, and he's going to allow the Israelites to get payback too. So everything, all these curses that I'm going to read in a moment, all of them are going to fall upon Esau and the rest of the heathens, man. All right? A beautiful example of that is that they put all them chemtrails in the sky. I was looking at chemtrails streaking past a full moon last night. All right? And I couldn't help but think about the story about all the women in Pennsylvania and Philly that are dying from some weird lung disease by water. So it's funny that they put all this poison and GMOs and chemicals in our food, which mess up our bodies and make us weak and make us sick, you know? But yet, now all of a sudden, Edomite women are dying from water, and it's not affecting people with melanin. It's not affecting so-called Negroes. And there's a scripture that says the children of Israel, roughly paraphrasing, shall eat their food defiled, man, or we shall eat poison and yet live. Right? And that's exactly what's happening, because Israelites, the so-called Hispanic and Negro population, so-called, in those areas, they're drinking water too, but they're not dying. Only Edomite women, so-called white women, are dying. Okay? So, and it says, for the controversy of Zion. There's a controversy about who the Israelites are. And according to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, the 1st verse, it says that these things will be brought up. And the only people that are out in the world talking about the prophecies matching up, Dr. White, you know, and No Class Malone, is the Israelites, man. So the prophecies matter. And the prophecies tell you exactly who the Israelites are. And so-called white people, those Jewish people, those Israeli people do not fit them. All right? And this, even in their own documents and own history books, it tells you over and over again that they know that either, man. The 1941 Jewish Encyclopedia, man. No, I'm sorry, 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, page 41, clearly tells you that modern-day Edom is modern-day Jewry is Edom, man. So you can't get around that. Okay, so let's go to one of the curses now. Right, I'm going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, going to the curses, and I'm going to go to the 28th verse. And I'm going to read verse 18. And it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and flocks of sheep." All right, now I'm going to jump down to 30. It says, verse 30. I can't change the page. It says, it reads, Deuteronomy 28:30. It says, "Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather grapes thereof." And Jake works in those vineyards out in California, in those great vineyards, and down in South America and other places in America, but they don't own them. Most of those vineyards are owned by fake Jews in Napa Valley in California. All right? The White House itself was built by, the architect and the builder of it was a so-called Negro, Southern Kingdom Israelites, slaves, and they didn't build it. And just like most of these high-rise buildings in the background, these high-rise buildings behind me, the majority of people that live in those buildings, especially these new ones, are heathens. There's some Jake that live in some of these buildings, some of these well-to-do 2/3 in the world. All right, but most of the people that were working on these buildings, well, there's a lot of Israelites that work on these buildings as well, and all these contractors. You go to a construction site, man, it's full of Israelites, man, both Northern and Southern Kingdom, especially the Northern Kingdom, because they don't hire Judah as much for jobs like that. All right, but and then there was a good example of that in the movie Nat Turner, man. All right, when his right-hand man, I forget his name, when the slave master had visitors, when the guy came to the plantation, he saw the the Judite woman, and then he asked for her, and the master obliged him. All right, he was like, "Yeah, go give me that woman," and the slave was like, "Oh, I'm not giving up my woman." All right, and then the man is waiting in the room like, "What's taking so long? She not coming?" And so he sent them to go get him again, and he had to stand outside and wait while his woman was in there, being getting sexed up by this pathetic specimen, fat, nasty Edomite, man. While this man is defiling his wife, man. He had to wait outside for her. All right, and that was a regular occurrence, man. All right, they would come and sleep with our wives and our women, man. Okay. I'm going to go to verse 37. All right? It says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all the nations, whether the Lord will lead thee." And we are an astonishment, man. All right? And a byword. They steal our culture, man. All the cartoons, the TV commercials, the movies, the commercials on the news, McDonald's commercials, the Cheerios commercials, all hip-hop based, reggaeton and all that stuff playing in the background, and they use us, but yet they still look down upon us, man. They use our culture, and then they give us these false names like Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Negro, Ecuadorian, Chilean, and all those type of names, Brazilian. They gave us bywords to go by and didn't call us by our true biblical names. They covered that up, man. And it's an easy thing to do the research to prove who these people are, man. All right? But they own, they make the textbooks, so they're in control over what you read, what you learn in school. They're in control over what you see over the airwaves. And most of these things that we're talking about are controlled and ran by the very people who are claiming to be who we are, the fake Jews. All right. Now I'm going to go to Isaiah 42 and 22. Okay. All right. So they use draconian law to control us. All right. This is Isaiah 42 and 22. "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth. All right, for a spoil, and none saith restore." So they destroy us, man. They send young men, young boys away to jail all the time. Israelite men. Okay? They send them away to prison at young ages, man. And then they get free labor off of them. Okay? And then they created laws where that were completely totally set up to railroad the sons of Jacob to the prison, man. All right? And then there's clearly two sets of laws in America, man. Because I can give you example after example of Edomites, so-called white youth or people committing crimes, and they get a bare minimum sentencing or no sentencing at all. And then, you know, the children of Jacob, both his sons and daughters, they'll get maximum penalties and jail time for the smallest offenses, man. Happens all the time. All right? I don't even really need to go into that, man. Okay? Now I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28 and 46. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, man. Meaning these curses. So you're going to always know who the Israelites according to the curses. For a sign and a wonder, so the world would know. So the Israelites would know. All right? Now I'm going to jump down to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And it reads, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, no man shall redeem you. So you're going to be sold as a slave man and a slave woman into Egypt again. And Egypt means the house of bondage. All right? I believe that's Exodus 4 and 20, if I'm not mistaken, where it clearly tells you that Egypt is the house of bondage. Okay? So you got sold into slavery. And the first ship to come to America was the good ship Jesus, man, which was owned by Jewish people. And if you just did a little bit of research, man, it doesn't even take much. All right? You'll find that the slave trade was ran and controlled by Jewish people. The slave markets were closed on Jewish holidays, man. That's how Wall Street and the Wall Street got started, man. That's why you have Black Friday. Black Friday was a day where you got 2-for-1 deals on Negro slaves and all kind of deals and that sort of thing. So they still practice it. They throw it in your face. Columbus Day, the destruction of the Northern Kingdom, man. Thanksgiving, the destruction of the Northern Kingdom, man. All right? And then, like I always say, there are no relics. There are no relics anywhere on the earth is just going to show you the Israelis as being in yokes of iron around their neck like my scarf, or in shackles and chains, naked, being transported on ships, because it didn't happen to them. Why? Because they don't fit the curses. And then it also said in here that it is also a curse in the book of Deuteronomy that says you shall be the borrower and not the lender. Who owns all the banks? Jewish people. Right? Who owns most of the big businesses? Jewish people. Okay? So they don't fit the curses, Dr. White, No Class Malone, and your stupid followers. So let's go back to the scripture I started with and be done. I'm going to read it again. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things shall come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among the nations, whether Yahweh thy power have driven thee. And that's exactly what we just did. All right? So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.